No, no, no. Far from it. You know, when Kenya Kwanza took office, they said they want the economy to grow and for business to thrive. So it doesn't matter whether you're a Chinese company, Turkish or South African, that we want the economy to grow. And the economy will grow by doing 4 things. Number one, promoting Kenya as an FDI destination.
Right.
So we get many more of these Chinese squares coming to Kenya. Number 2, we promote our exports. Number 3, we promote our services. Now, because Kenya is a global player, we must ask ourselves, how can we make Kenya a low-cost production country? So that if we manufacture goods in Kenya, they become cheaper than what is being sold at China Square. And in my view, it means that we must address the cost of production in Kenya. And the first thing we need to do is to address the cost of energy. Because the cost of energy in Kenya is very high compared to our neighbors. And also the cost of human resource, the cost of land. In general, the cost of all the factors of production. You recall at some stage we had indicated that aviation is a big global industry. And the country in Africa which takes the lion's share is Morocco. Morocco have got 52 subcontractors of the big global players. So, and then they do their services cheaply. But in Kenya, here in Kenya, if you want a chopper or you've got a plane, you will take it to Uganda for servicing. Why? Because the cost of servicing these facilities in Kenya is very expensive, so you have to go to Uganda. In fact, majority of the multinationals, when they want to set up businesses in Africa, if they're looking at energy as a key determinant, they'll probably go to Zimbabwe, or they'll go to Egypt because of the low cost of energy. So those are some of the things that we are supposed to address. And then we must also eliminate the possibility that a number of public servants of rank would actually use their selfish interest to come up with public policies. But again, I saw that covered in the dispatch yesterday, the cabinet dispatch, that is something which is going to be addressed. But finally, the consumer is king. Competition at Nyamakima, at China Square, whoever brings competition, the consumer is king. Because one of the things we need to address as a nation is the cost of living. If the Chinese man at China Square is addressing the cost of living, giving us goods at affordable rates, how come we are making noise about that? And also the issue of the counterfeits. People went and decided to cut away goods valued at 50 million. Now they've got an egg on their face because they've established that there is no mischief. So it may be useful for the law enforcement agencies actually to go and look at the hippo's nose and find out what are we not being told. What is the 411? Because the person you expected to be in the streets to demonstrate is the consumer. And I've not seen any. He's a professor of economics. He'll tell you that a human being is the most rational animal, and they act in their selfish interest. Why should a Kenyan be penalized for wanting to buy affordable goods at high quality by these middlemen? Now, those people at Nyamakima, if they're feeling disadvantaged by globalization, let them go to China Square and find out the business model so that they can source these goods at the same prices or even competitive. Or maybe they can get some sharp guys to advise them on supply chain management. But at the end of the day, we cannot allow any politician or public servant of rank to drive their selfish agenda so that they protect some middlemen. And there was a conversation earlier on that I understand more than 70% of the fish consumed in Kenya is from China. How come we have not had people making noise around that? And then we buy eggs and chicken from Uganda. How come nobody is complaining about that? And then recently we are getting maize from outside Kenya. How come nobody is complaining about that?